Hello friends, today I'm playing with a really cute little critter. This used to be I had a card line for many years on Amazon and Etsy, and this was a little card in my series. This is the last one. I just happened to find it in something as I was going through some old boxes and things, and I thought, oh my gosh, that was so cute. It also was a commission originally. I got to paint that. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that today. I'm using these Stratford cards. I use these. I've been using these for a long time because I like to make all my cards. Really great quality. It's got a nice texture. I think way better than the average card you would find in the store. It's heavyweight, so I really like these 140-pound cold press. I take that back. They may not be 140-pound, but gosh, they're pretty stiff. So I don't have the package. I took them out of the package. But this is the other thing I really like. Look at that beautiful edge. To me, stuff like that really means a lot. And I have painted on the envelopes, but you can't use a lot of water. I do it all the time, but I don't think they're not exactly this type of paper. So they do okay if you don't use a lot of water. So I've painted this several times. This was my original card I had in my line. So that's what I'm going to be painting today. I'm using my MeiLiang paints. Somebody brought this up recently. Yes, these are student grade paints. They're under $20, you guys. So they are student grade paints, but I'm telling you, they're fabulous. They're a sister company. MeiLiang is a sister company of Paul Rubens, which is a professional grade paint, and their palettes are anywhere from $50 up. They also make these, or they're the sister company that of the company that makes these, and these are fantastic, you guys. I stand by these 100%. They're gorgeous paints. They're under $20, and you know, if you don't have the means to buy spend $50 when you're first starting out, I get it. I paint every day. I can't afford to use my Winsor Newtons every day. These are awesome. They're really vibrant and creamy. They're transparent. The light fastness is not like you're going to get with Winsor Newton, but for my everyday painting, I can't say enough about them, and I use them in my workshops, and a lot of you have been really happy with those. The other thing I'm using is, this is my 8 long round. My hot pink brush set. They will be a limited release because I'm a smaller artist, but you can sign up to be notified when they come out, and they'll have a small discount when they come out. I've got my wash and rinse container. Of course, that's Meeden. And let's see. Have my little tissue here because I constantly am dabbing off my brush. So let's go ahead and get started. This is such a fun little guy. I can't wait to share him with you. And you know what, to be honest, yes, I am making him almost like a porcupine, but I just think he's so cute. So maybe he's a cross between a porcupine and the other one I just talked about. Now I have porcupine in my mind, but beside the point, I think he's absolutely adorable, and if he makes somebody smile that I give him to, I'm all for that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take my yellow sienna, and I already sprayed my palette, by the way, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that. Let me see if you can see my palette here. In my palette, and I added some bling too with my MAB metallics, and I'm just going to get wet the center of his face just like this. I mean, you know, anymore, I was a pretty serious artist for a long time, doing my commissions and things like that, and now, to be very honest, I just want to have fun. I like painting for fun. I love introducing and helping you guys get comfortable with watercolor paints. By the way, I'm just kind of using a damp brush that I keep rinsing off to kind of create around his face there. And then I think what I'll do is go in with my Van Dyke brown or any dark brown you have is just fine. If you can paint with Winsor Newtons, you know what, go for it, you guys. I was always, when I started watercolors in school, college, they had us buy Winsor Newtons. And that's what I bought, and I painted with those for years and years and years. Until I started teaching workshops and I needed a little bit more reasonable cost for paints, because my beginners were like, I can't afford to buy a $50 palette. I don't even know if I'm going to keep doing this. So I'm just going in, very light touch with the tip of my brush, and I'm going to start just lightly flicking out and starting to create. And yes, I know these are a lot longer. This definitely can look like a porcupine, but I just think he's adorable, whatever you want to call him. And then I'm just going to make my brush damp. So I'm rinsing my brush off, and I keep rinsing every time because I'm grabbing more paint and getting that paint on my brush. So I want to keep rinsing my brush, and I'm just kind of pulling out like that, leaving some of the harder strokes in the middle there. Then maybe some down here, just the tip of my brush. There we go. So just building those layers. And now I'm going to go in with that with maybe, I want to do some pinks and blues and just make him really fun and happy. Let's even use, if you have your regular palette, actually MeiLiang makes a palette. Let me show you with some opalescents or metallics in them. It's their bigger set. Here it is. So they give you the same rows as your standard MeiLiang palette, and then they give you all these metallics. So if you have that, use that. If you don't want to use metallics, you don't have to. And then I've got my MABs here, my MAB metallics. As you know, I love them. So I'm just going to go ahead and use them. Really use whatever colors you want. I wanted some sparkle in here. As you know, I'm all about the sparkle and kind of creating just those little interesting pieces that people notice and go, oh my gosh, I think I see some sparkle in there. I love that. I'm going to pick up some of my pink and put a little bit of that in there. Again, I'm just using barely the tip of my brush, and I'm using a damp brush. So I'm not using a real wet brush, you guys. Just barely damp. And then after I do that, I kind of go through and just flicking outwards. But look how cute already. I think I'll use some of my yellow ochre here. I always like to combine a little bit of brown with my bright colors because I think it's so pretty. It's almost like kind of grounding when I have a lot of bright colors. And you know, honestly, just make this your palette. Like, what color do you want your little guy to be, your little critter? I'm going to use some of my blue, so I'm just grabbing some of my light blue. I might even use some of this blue. This, by the way, is her fairy series. I love the fairy series. I use that one a lot. And going to add some of that in there. Ooh, look how pretty. It just really grabs your eye, and it's, to me, so interesting. It's fun. It's like, oh, how fun is that? I think I see some sparkles. It's unexpected because obviously who would see a groundhog with pinks and blues? But to me, that's what makes it even funner. So I'm gonna let that dry a tiny bit so I can go in, and right now it's pretty much wet and damp, so it's blending. And I want it to dry a bit. I might even have to shoot it with my little dryer here. And let's go in and do those eyes. So I'll pick up some of my black and really tap it off and make sure this is dry, really important. And let's do his little eyes here. Now I've got two, see all that came off? I don't want that much water. So dab off your brush if you need to. Excuse me. There we go. And just make his little eyes. And then I'm going to make his little triangle nose here. Like that. Oh my gosh, look how cute he is. So cute. And you know what? I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and hit him with my dryer so that we can go in and put the rest in. Let's do that. These are so handy. These are about $15. I'll look for my link for that and share it with you. These are especially good for when it's winter time because your paintings can really dry slow in the winter. So that's probably pretty dry. It's pretty hot here, so things are drying quickly. Now I'm just going to use my long round 8, and the reason why I made this brush and why I love the Princeton long round 6 is because I can get the thick strokes using the belly, and I can also with very light pressure get that beautiful little tip in those little strokes. So now that this is pretty much dry, I'm going to go in and add some darker value pieces. So let's see, what colors do I want to use? I feel like I want to use a little bit of brown. So again, I'm kind of doing some flicking here, maybe a tiny bit of black to that. Yeah, that's what I wanted. And we'll put in, or I will, again, you know, come up with the color palette you want here and go with that. Maybe you want yellows, maybe you want all earthy colors or greens. Take creative license here and do what you like. And then I'm just putting some little tiny strokes around his cute little face. Barely tapped into that water. And some shorter, maybe wispier little strokes. Maybe he's got some little pine needles or hairs. So he's definitely a mix between a hedgehog and a porcupine for sure. Let's see, I want to put some blue in there. So let's try this blue. This is, again, use what you have. This is her mermaid series. Let's see what that does. I'm going to pick some of that up. Use whatever colors you have. I will list these for you, so in case you wanted to try something like this out. To me, it's always fun to have these little sparkles because it kind of catches your eye and it's like, ooh, do I see a sparkle there? And I love that. It's very subtle, but yet definitely catches your eye. There we go. And there we go. Look how cute. So I'm almost done. I think on my original card, I added little hearts around, which we can certainly do. Let's see. Let's grab a pink and just create a little heart there. Very cute. Maybe another one right here. You know, just play. Maybe you don't want hearts. Maybe you want, maybe I'll put some splatters on here too. Or maybe even add a little dot of yellow to that, because you know how I love my yellow and red mixed together. I'm going to do one more heart over here to kind of equal it out. But look how adorable. And you know, people love getting these little cards. So let's do some splatters. Let's see, I'm going to use my metallics for that. I feel like I want a pink metallic though. So let's use this one here. Let's see, what is this? I have tons of these, you guys. This is Back to the Fairy series. Again, use what you have. You don't have to invest in these things. I just share them because I love them and they're so much fun. So I'm making this really watery because, matter of fact, let's mix that with the hot pink. There we go. And then I'm going to add a little bit more water because I want it to splatter. Oop, I just painted on my desk. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Perfect. And then I will add little white dots for his eye. Let me find my, when I need to use white, I typically will go to my gouache because white watercolors can be a little bit more transparent. So I'm just tipping the very tip of my brush in there. And there, he's got some little eyes. And the last thing I'm going to do, now I left room for this on mine, but if you don't want to stamp something or write something, just move your little guy down. So let me find my stamp. Here we go. And these are those wonderful stamps we all kind of found together, and you guys led me to the blocks and all that fun stuff. I love how you guys suggest things and we come to things together. So I haven't used this in a long time. I guess this is the color. So I think I want this color up here, and hopefully this is working because I haven't used these in a while. So I'm just going to get to that on here. I really like this brand though. I think it's from Michael's. And then hopefully I get this on here nice and straight. And there you go. And there's a cute little card for you. You can also handwrite that on. All right, you guys, I hope that was fun for you. Get creative, throw the paint around, use your sparkles. If you don't like the sparkles, use whatever you have. And I will list everything below. Make sure if you are interested in my little brushes, it will be a limited release. So just sign up so at least you get the notification via email that, hey, they're coming out in September. If you want to buy them, I think the first 24 hours, they'll be $55 for 5. And then they'll go up till they sell out, which I think will be quick because they aren't releasing a lot of them. And I will go back and look for my link for these cards. I think they're just beautiful. I love the little deckled edge. And there you go. I hope you have fun. This would be a great one if you have children too, to paint something cute like this, and it's relatively easy. All right, happy painting. Thanks so much for being here with me, you guys. You guys are the best. I have so much fun with you. And I feel like we're just hanging out together, and it's just so much fun. I'll see you soon.